Hola.
Hello friends of TB Agro, my name is Alba Luz Figueroa. I am the director of the Faunáticos Park. Today I want to tell you a little bit about our butterfly farm.
Hace muchos años queríamos iniciar.
Many years ago we wanted to start with the production of butterflies, but it has been a little difficult to do it as a closed butterfly farm.
Entonces decidimos empezar.
We decided to start the breeding in the open air. We have noticed that our park receives many butterflies, suddenly because of the variety of vegetation that we have, the variety of flowering plants.
Entonces eso nos sirve.
Is what serves us to receive butterflies of different kinds.
Había una mariposa que nos llamaba mucho la atención.
There was one butterfly that caught our attention, the Monarch butterfly. We tried to get the host plant for the Monarch, and you know that each kind of butterfly has a different host plant.
La planta hospedera, la monarca, es esta que tenemos aquí.
The Monarch's host plant is the one we have here, next to me, which is called Asclepia curasavica. Here it is commonly called milkweed. In this plant is where the butterflies' young feed and where they lay their eggs, only in this plant.
Iniciamos sembrando las plantas.
We started sowing the plants waiting for them to grow so we could suddenly get the butterflies.
Mariposa, pero en 8 días ya había llegado maripositas.
But in 8 days the butterflies had already arrived. They started to lay their eggs and the reproduction started very fast. We had problems because there was not enough food. It is like running for the plants to grow, to get new plants.
Hemos recolectado las semillitas, las ponemos a germinar.
We have collected the seeds. We put them to germinate. We sow them again. In this way we have been able to maintain a little bit of butterfly production. In this host plant of the Monarch is where it lays its eggs. We collect the eggs. We let the eggs hatch and the larva is born. The larva is born very small, and from that moment it begins to eat.
Alimentarse y va sufriendo muchos cambios.
To feed, and it undergoes many changes, until it reaches a size of about 4 or 5 centimeters.
Aquí más o menos tenemos una que ya está casi.
Here we have one that is almost ready to hatch. Well, it has curled up. When it is already big we pick them up, because it is the moment when they start to eat much more, and obviously they finish with everything. They eat the leaves, the flowers, the stems, everything. They finish with the whole plant. Then we pick them up big and they are already ready to be sucked. We take them and put them in some containers to be sucked.
Cuando ella se empupa, ya se va a demorar unos 10 días.
When it is sucked, it will take about 10 days for the butterfly to come out, and when it is born it returns and starts the process. We usually release them with the children that visit us, because our work is basically educational. They release the butterflies and they return to look for their plant to reproduce.
Su planta para reproducirse, pero.
But the plant where the adults feed, many of the plants that we have here in the park are useful. The lantanas are useful. Wherever there are metalliferous plants, they will feed. There are many plants for them to feed on.
Esta solamente es donde van a poner los huevos.
This is only where they will lay their eggs and where the larvae will feed.
Estamos muy satisfechos porque nacen muchas mariposas.
We are very satisfied because many butterflies are born, and this makes the park very beautiful. The only concern is that the plants are always maintained. In order to maintain the production of butterflies, there are many butterflies that arrive here and there are plants that are useful for them. In fact, we are planting the nasturtium, which is practically a weed, but this is a host for another type of butterfly.
Casi todas las plantas hospederas son como.
Almost all the host plants are like weeds, and unfortunately what most people knock down, and that's why the butterflies are also dying out.
Además, que cuando están.
Also, when they are in this phase, people say that it is a plague of worms and fumigate them.
Entonces se acaban las maripositas.
Then, the butterflies are finished. Even if we suddenly find in a tree a little bit of worms, they are not worms, they are butterflies that are in the larva stage. It is better to leave them. There are some that are not so pretty, they do not attract our attention, but they are also nocturnal butterflies. They do not have bright colors, but they are also butterflies. Here we do not fumigate the trees or where we find the worms, as people say that they are full of worms.
Bueno, como ustedes pueden ver,
as you can see, the butterfly is a very striking animal. It does not harm anyone. It is not aggressive and beautifies any place.
Cada uno de nosotros podemos tener
each one of us can have butterflies. If we want to have butterflies, we can plant many plants that give food to these adult butterflies and they will arrive.
Y si de pronto ya conocemos.
If we know the host plant where they can reproduce, we can also have butterflies. If we know the host plant where they can reproduce, we can also plant many of these plants and we will surely have butterflies in a very short time because they look for that plant, lay lots of eggs. There we will have a great harvest of butterflies. It is very easy. Besides the flowers look nice, they serve us to have this beautiful insect, which are the butterflies.
Colombia es uno de los países.
Colombia is one of the countries that has more kinds of butterflies. You know that insects are like the largest number of species that are obtained.
Especies que se consiguen.
And in that class of insects that are Lepidoptera, is where there is more variety, both day butterflies and moths.
Tanto mariposas diurnas como mariposas nocturnas.
Moths are also moths. The butterflies that we see black, those that do not have much color, the color of the butterflies is given by them. Lepidoptera means the scale butterflies. They have scales on their wings that are colored by the sun. That is why the nocturnal butterflies are not as brightly colored as the diurnal butterflies. We are pending in the plants. When there are eggs we let them hatch, and as you can see the larvae eat and grow. If we leave them there, we had said that they would finish with the plant.
Acaban con la planta. Entonces cuando ya están grandecitas.
When they are already big we take them, because if we leave them on the plant, they will surely catch the pupae of the larvae. We do it to protect the butterfly.
Entonces lo hacemos por protegerla.
And suddenly some of the larvae escape and they get soaked and hang on the fences, on the doors, everywhere. But we try not to let them touch them. If we leave the plants full of pupae, obviously they will be very curious to catch those pupae, because the pupa is very beautiful and the butterfly has an emerald green color, and has a golden edge. That's why we take the larvae with us, so that inside the containers they can be sucked and we can keep them there until they hatch. That's the reason why we don't let them finish the process here in the plant.
Tenerlas ahí hasta que nazcan. Esa es la razón por qué no dejamos terminar el proceso aquí en la planta. La mariposa monarca.
The monarch butterfly is native to North America, but today we find it throughout the American continent, Central America, and much of South America. These animals can live quite long, has a very long lifespan. Monarchs can live up to 9 months. These animals also reproduce very easily and very fast. As we have seen, its lifespan is about a month, that is all the transformation cycle is 1 month. It is too fast and the lifespan is quite long. The adult butterfly can lay up to 400 eggs. You can imagine that when we already have this full of larvae, we have to collect and start again all our production process. These animals, the idea in us with this open-air butterfly farm, is mainly to raise awareness among all the people who visit us here, in Faunáticos, about the care and respect and love for these animals. Why? Bugs have a very bad reputation. The first thing people do when they see an insect is to get scared and kill it, without really knowing what its function is in the ecosystem and all animals, not only butterflies and not only the whole group of arthropods, such as beetles, such as arachnids. They all have an important function. For example, they all have an important role in the ecosystem. They all have an important function. For example, butterflies are pollinators. This helps the genetic variety of plants. It is like a very important function. And ready the same thing, spiders, praying mantises, all these are biological control animals. The idea here in the park is for people to come and get to know the animals up close, to have that experience with them, to be able to hold them, to be able to manipulate them and see that they are animals that do not do us any harm. But on the contrary, they help us to keep our environment in perfect conditions. That is why these animals are indicators that our ecosystem is perfect, in every sense of the word. The monarch butterfly has a very long lifespan. But there are many kinds of butterflies and their cycle, their lifespan is very different. There are butterflies that can last up to 1 day. That is their lifespan. There are others that have 2 weeks, 3 weeks. There is a great variety in the lifespan of these animals. Here in Faunáticos our main objective is educational. But in many places they take advantage of the butterfly breeding, because they can use them to make different articles. For example, when the butterfly dies, there are different methods of conservation, so that their wings are not damaged. With this they can make accessories, they can make earrings, they can make paintings, they also use them a lot in social events.
Acá en Faunáticos,
Here in Faunáticos, as we know, we release our butterflies. We have several butterflies that were born this morning and are ready to be released. And I take this as an opportunity to finish. I hope you visit us here in the theme park. Faunáticos, we are located in Tenjo, Cundinamarca, and if you want to learn more or want to know how to get here, you can follow us on our social networks. We are on Instagram as at Faunáticos, on Facebook we are also as Faunáticos, and our page www.fanticos.com.
faunáticos.com.
We are going to release our butterflies.
Ellas ya van a...
They are already going to fly and they are already going to look for where to feed.
Bueno, estas ya saldrán acá. Chao,
Bye
chao.
bye.